Grossman, and I'm a devotional singer. I sing mantras and share teachings from the different wisdom traditions that I've studied. And I'm so grateful to Insight creating this amazing platform where we can gather from all over the world to do these practices. And it's really my honor to be able to share my heart and what I love with you. So thank you for taking your time on this Sunday to spend it with me. You could be doing lots of different things, and it really means a lot to me. And I think the subject that we're going to explore is really important and just really necessary right now. I know for myself it is. So I generally share programs around a theme that I'm working with in my life that I'm thinking about. And what I do usually blends meditation, a talk, and a meditation, usually with music. Today's program is going to be slightly different. I'm going to share a little bit about the subject, and then I'm going to sort of take you on a guided sound journey so that we can experience deep rest together. So, is there a way to see you? Can any of you see me, or maybe it's just sometimes if you can't see me, you might have to exit out of the app and come back in and try to refresh your screen. Okay, great. And just so you know, in case you're not sure, if you don't want to see the comments, you can touch the screen and they'll go away. And if you want to bring them back, you just touch the screen again. So anyway, welcome to all of you. I'm really happy that you're here, and I'm happy to be here with you. And I just want to start my program with an invocation, which I always do, just to ask for the blessings of my teachers and express my gratitude. And if you're unfamiliar with mantras, mantras are like sacred sound formulas, and they they're like a sonic technology. And through these words that have been passed down for thousands of years, uh, and these words were discovered by the rishis, who were the great seers of India. As these words have been passed down, they have been preserved in their original form. So when we chant them, it's as if we're tapping into the consciousness of those who revealed them. And we're so blessed to be able to have access to these sounds. They don't exist, they exist in a place that's beyond our mind, beyond our intellect. And it's a vibrational language. So you don't have to understand what I'm singing, it's something to just feel. And when I do the invocation, it's sort of a way of saying that we're stepping across a threshold together into this time to have this experience together. And it's really a special, rare thing because we'll never all be together in this way again. And so it's just a moment to honor that. So I invite you to just take this time to settle in wherever you are and gather your energy together, gather your mind. I always say that heaven is a gathered mind and hell is a scattered mind. Maybe you've had that experience. When your mind is flying all over the place, it's really an experience of hell in some ways. And when your mind is gathered together and concentrated and centered, there's a peacefulness that comes from that. So we will be gathering our mind, bringing body and mind into the same place. So there's nothing at all for you to do. Just arrive here and be comfortable. And I'm going to just sing a little bit to get us started. If you can't see and you don't know, I play an instrument called the harmonium, which is here. I don't think you can see it, but it's a beautiful drone instrument. With one hand, I play the piano keys, and the other hand, I pump the bellows, and it creates a drone sound. And it's a beautiful, beautiful instrument. Maybe I can show you later. Can you hear? I'll try to get more light after this. Yeah. Yai Modavalava Guntanavati Tejo Mainashtaki Snigdha Pangavidokini Bhagavati Nandasmida Srimaki Vatsalyamritavarshidim Sumaturam Sankirtana Lapini Yamangi Mother Sita Siddhi Amritanandapnika Ishvari Om Amriteshwari Namah Om Amriteshwari Namah Om Amriteshwari Namah Anta samsara samudratara Nakaitanyam Guru Bhakti Davyam Vaidagya Samhajata Pujanapiyam Namo Namah Shri Guru Padukapyam Namo Namah Shri Guru Padukapyam Namo Namah Shri Guru Padukapyam Namo Namo A little more light. Thank you. I'm singing in the language of Sanskrit, which is a beautiful ancient language and the foundation of most Indo-European languages. And it's said that mantras, just as a little interesting thing, that mantras, they weren't created by anybody. Mantras exist in nature. And they were revealed to the rishis that I mentioned before, the great seers of India. They were revealed to them. The word is shruti in Sanskrit, revealed and passed down. And so they haven't been changed at all. Most languages actually change through time, through evolution, like English. The English that we speak today is very different from the English of Shakespeare's time, for instance. And it keeps evolving. That's why we find things like OMG in the dictionary now. It was never in there before, but language is evolving. But Sanskrit is you could say, like a perfected language. It doesn't change through time. So what we're chanting and hearing today is the same thing that was chanted thousands of years ago. And it has the power to transform our consciousness. So I'm really happy to share this subject with you. I was just talking to a friend of mine yesterday about this session, and I was saying that I feel like the whole world needs to take a nap. I think we are all so tired, and we're tired for so many different reasons. We're tired because we're running after the wind all the time, chasing after the wind, trying to find our happiness in all these different things, constantly staying busy in this age of speed that we live in. It's kind of a grind culture that we're living in. And in many ways, we base our worth on our productivity. And that causes us quite a bit of suffering sometimes. So I just want to talk a little bit about this idea of rest and stress and why we need rest. Our bodies are so amazing. Our body-mind mechanism is incredible. We have this amazing nervous system that operates in a way that is completely beyond our comprehension. I mean, we understand it, but it's a mystery, really. It's a miracle. And our nervous system knows how to deal with stress. It has built-in capacities to be able to do that. So when we're in danger, our body knows what to do. It excretes different hormones and it gets things kicked into gear so that we can protect ourselves from stress, from threats. So I'm sure many of you are familiar with the fight, flight, or freeze thing that happens in our system. When we're in stress, we tend to fight or flee, or sometimes we freeze. And this is an intelligence of our being. It was designed, for instance, if we're in the jungle and a lion is running after us, it's really good that our body knows how to do this fight flight response, because our body kicks into gear. All the blood goes out to our extremities, so we can run and far away from the animal, and our pupils dilate and our heart race picks up, and our palms become sweaty. Our energy is just being excreted in such a way so that we can protect ourselves. And if we survive, we don't get eaten by the lion. Generally, what should happen is that we would then discharge all of that stress somehow. When an animal is being chased in the wild, if it survives, often what that animal will do is it will go off somewhere and it will just shake its body to release all that stress, and then go about its day. It doesn't hold on to that stress. It doesn't maintain it. So that burst of adrenaline and cortisol is meant to just last for a little while to protect us, and then our body should be able to discharge it and come back to equilibrium. But unfortunately, today, we don't just have a lion every now and then running after us. We have constant wild animals in our mind that are following after us, that are running after us. And these are the wild animals of worry and fear and resentment, anxieties, confusion, all of these different things. We have the wild animals of social media. A lot of times going on social media can create anxiety for people. And we're scrolling through, and you may notice that your heart rate picks up, or you tense your muscles, or some part of you gets stressed out. And so it's as if our body is being chased by something. We're reacting with these stress hormones. And because we have these constant reactions to stress, and we don't take the time often to discharge that stress or to rest our bodies and come back to a place of equilibrium, we're carrying so much stress in our bodies, and it can wear us down. And especially now, with the coronavirus, it's a really difficult time for the whole world. It's not that we ever really know what's to come in life, but right now it's a very heightened state of not knowing, and that everybody feels. And it's brought a tremendous amount of stress to people's lives in ways that are very pronounced. Stress over all the things that we know: financial stress, health, profession, so many things. And so it's easy for our body to be in that contracted state without even realizing that it's happening. And if we don't take the time to rest, then our body just gets totally overwhelmed and overloaded. And I know from personal experience, because I spent so much of my life running around, pushing, so aggressive towards myself. And then I just completely collapsed and ended up in bed for 3 years, literally. And it was an extremely difficult time in my life with this undiagnosable illness that kind of leveled everything for me. And it was during that time that I actually discovered music. And so it was a blessing in disguise, but it was also the result of so many years of not listening to my body, not taking care of myself, and pushing and grinding so hard. So I had to learn the hard way, that rest is really important, that taking care of my nervous system is really important. It's something I'm still learning, because the truth is our culture encourages us to push and encourages us to stay busy all the time, and we're not really taught how to slow down. We're not really taught how to take care of ourselves in that way. And I think there's a lot of good reasons for it. Sometimes when we rest, when we slow down, we have to actually feel what's happening within us. And that can be a frightening thing sometimes if we're not used to feeling all of the different emotions. When we stay busy, we don't have to actually feel. We can just grab a gadget, just grab something, fill it up. As soon as we're sitting with ourselves, we feel uncomfortable. The knee-jerk reaction is to just do something to cover it up, to escape into something, to avoid it. But I think this practice, and really any spiritual practice, is a way of learning how to befriend our experience and to befriend our emotions and to not be afraid of ourselves. We don't need to be afraid of ourselves. We can actually embrace ourselves completely with all that we are and learn to be with what's inside and to make peace with that. I read something a couple of years ago that really stuck with me, that I thought was a really beautiful teaching. It's by a guy in England named Jeff Foster. He's a spiritual teacher. And he was talking about the connection between deep rest and how it's very similar to depressed. Deep rest, depressed. They're very similar sounding words. And I think there's so much truth to that. That sometimes when we have this deep depression, we feel depressed, in some ways we really are needing this deep rest. And rest not only physically, but rest from all of our efforting to try to be somebody in the world, to hold up this image for the world, to try to prove ourselves to ourselves or to other people. That just gets to be so exhausting. And of course that makes us feel depressed sometimes because we've wandered from ourselves. So deep rest is a kind of nourishment that can help, with depression, to just care for ourselves in that way, to nourish ourselves, take care of ourselves. And I think in this world where we're fed information constantly, it can start to feel like an assault, just information coming at us all the time. We really need to take that responsibility and care for ourselves, to just turn it off sometimes, just step away for a minute, come back to what's true, so that we can actually meet it with more ease inside and not just be completely washed away, by the tidal wave of information and posts and things that are coming at us. So that's one of the reasons why, of many, that I think this practice of resting is so important. And I also want to share that rest is for ourselves. It's a kind of self-care. It's a kind of way to take care of ourselves. And I also think that rest and all spiritual practices really are also not only for ourselves, but they're for the world. I had made a post a couple of days about this session, and I mentioned the work of a woman who I find really inspiring. Her name is Trisha Hersey, and she runs something called the Nap Ministry, which is her teaching is about rest as a form of reparations, and she believes that rest is a way of resisting the toxic grind culture, and particularly for people of color who are absolutely exhausted from this generational exhaustion of having to fight the system, and from dealing with this ancestral trauma and oppression of what happened to their ancestors and what continues to happen in the world today through systemic racism. It's incredibly exhausting. And she did a lot of research into historical records, and reading about slavery and how the slaves who were brought from Africa were driven so hard. They were like treated like machines, and for 20 hours a day they would have to work, and sometimes a woman would give birth, and right after she gave birth her child would go to the midwife, and she would have to go right back out into the plantation and work. And how that rest was robbed from them. The people who were slaves, they were robbed of rest. And so by resting now, it's a way of giving that back to the ancestors who didn't have it, and it's a way of caring for oneself, in this culture that we live in. So in that regard, she says it's a form of racial and social justice, which I think is a very powerful teaching, and I really agree with, and just wanted to acknowledge that, because I think all of these things we're doing, they're for us and they're for the world, and these things that we're doing are to help change the world. And sometimes it's ironic because we think, oh, we have to go out and do all this stuff, but if we don't take care of our being, if we don't nurture ourselves, then we can't even really see correctly. We can't change our perceptions in the way that we're living. So these practices are so powerful, and there's nothing at all for you to do in this time that we're going to have together. You don't have to do any kind of meditation, sit in any special way, do anything. It's going to be a guided journey into an experience of deep rest that, however you want to use it, I hope will be nourishing for you. And it's totally up to you how you receive the experience. I think we all so much want to receive and give love. That's in some ways the meaning of life. And when we're so busy and so bound up and contracted, it's almost impossible to even notice it when it's there. You may notice that when you're really stressed out, somebody could just look at you a certain way, and you might interpret it and just immediately like think they're attacking you, or just it can bring up all this stuff. Whereas if you're calm, you might see that same person looking at you and have a completely different interpretation. So when we're stressed out, it clouds our vision. It changes the way that we see the world and see each other. And it's so important to see each other through the eyes of love and compassion, especially now in the world. And rest is a part of that. So there's a quote that I love by Mark Twain. He says, "I've lived through some terrible things in my life, some of which actually happened." And I think that's great because it's just so true that we're constantly writing these scripts and stories about everything. But a lot of the times those things don't actually happen. But when we believe these things, our body actually has a reaction to it and it affects us and it stays with us. So we can try to visualize things happening that are uplifting, that are nourishing and nurturing, and that bring joy to us. When we visualize something, the visual cortex in our brain doesn't know whether it's actually real or imagined. It responds as if it's real. So the power of our imagination is huge. And when we rest, we can tap into that power of our imagination. We can really go into that and awaken our creativity. There's so much potential that's just waiting for the space to be created. So I could keep going on and on about this because there's so many things to share about it. It's such a powerful subject, but I want you to have some experience. So I'm gonna move into that now. And I'm sorry that I won't be able to respond to your comments right now, but I want to really focus on giving you this experience and going to this deeper place with you. And then afterwards, if there's time, I will read your comments. So I'm going to be using different kinds of music in this session. Music is just, I think it's the universal religion, the universal language. It touches our hearts and it takes us to a place beyond all the cerebral stuff. This is a piece of music that I've been creating with some good friends of mine, Josh Carlo and Justin Gwit. We've been working on this song together. So find a comfortable place to be, wherever you may be. And we're going to start with a little orientation to what we're doing. And then you're welcome to lie down or sit or lean up against something. It's really just important that you be comfortable so that you can rest and receive what is going to come from this experience. So to begin, we're just going to actually locate our body in space. We tend to be like heads without bodies roaming around. Sometimes I wonder how the world functions. We're all just like floating heads, and we often forget that we have these physical bodies that we're connected to the earth. So one thing that can really help is to actually just connect to our physical body. So we're going to start with that. So I'm going to invite you to just massage your head a little bit. Just going to take a few minutes to do this. In a previous life of mine, in this life, I used to be a massage therapist, actually. So just very gently, you can just massage the top of your head. And you can do it, in a loving way. Do it in a caring way where you really feel that you're honoring and taking care of yourself and that you've arrived here to have an experience for you. You've given yourself this time. You can massage your face a little bit. You can just press underneath your eyebrows. Do whatever feels right for you. But it's just a way to connect to yourself. Massage your temples, your jaw. We hold so much tension in our jaw. I recently read that lots of people have been breaking their teeth from grinding their teeth. So dentists have been very overloaded with people whose teeth have broken from grinding, from the stress of this coronavirus. You can massage your ears. It's a really great thing to do. I often massage my ears. So many meridians flow through our ears. You can just massage down your neck a little bit. Remember, the purpose of this is to just become embodied. It's a chance for you to honor and respect your body. We move from the gross to the subtle when we do this practice. The grosser levels to the more subtle levels. And then you're just going to rub your hands together. Rub your hands. And when you rub your hands together, don't just do it, mindlessly. Really put your attention there and fill your hands, the energy in your hands with love, with good thoughts. Maybe with your intention, what it is that you're here for. Just feel that. And you're going to cup your hands over your eyes. Just rest your eyes. Just feel the energy from your palms going into your eyes. Just breathing, just naturally and quietly. And then you're going to rub your hands together again, generating energy and putting your consciousness in between your hands, putting love. Really feel your own love. Generate that heat. And then just gently move your hands apart from each other just a little bit and feel that energy there between your hands. And we're not just physical beings, we have energy bodies as well. So feel that energy, and between your hands, just imagine that you're creating like a vortex or a ball of healing energy. Just intend that with your mind. And you're just going to take all that energy in your palms, and you're just going to sweep your body, just your whole body a couple of times. And imagine that all of the negative energies, anything you're holding on to, it feels heavy, overwhelming to you, whatever negativity or things that you don't want to hold on to anymore. Just imagine that you're just releasing that, just clearing that in your body. All the way down to your feet. When you're done, just shake out your hands. Just feel the release. And we're going to breathe in a minute and hold the breath for a moment. And when you exhale, just imagine that you're exhaling any energies, any thoughts, any opinions, anything that is not yours. We tend to absorb things from other people and from the world, and sometimes we can get confused about what's ours and what's somebody else's. So before we take this rest journey, let's clarify our energy, so it's just you. Let go of everything else for this time. So just take a breath in, hold it for a moment. And when you exhale, intend that through all of your cells and pores, you're just exhaling everything that's not yours. Just let it go. And do it again. Breathe in. Hold it for a minute. Just intend that anything that doesn't belong to you be cleared from your being, your system. Exhale. And then the last time, breathe in. Fill your body with a light. And when you exhale, anything that does not of that light. Just imagine that it's just releasing from your system. Exhale. And now just take a moment to just see yourself within your own energy field, just your thoughts, your heart, your being, because this is your time for you. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, nothing to accomplish, and nobody to be right now. Just exist as you are. So I'm going to invite you, if you want to lie down, you can lie down and just find a comfortable place to put your body, whatever position works for you. If you don't want to lie down, you can sit. You don't want to have effort in any way. You just want to be at ease. So sitting in a chair, sitting on a couch or something is fine. Just don't feel like you have to effort anything. We're going to start our journey with a beautiful piece of music that is by a group called One Tribe, who were from Perth, Australia, that I met years ago in New York. They gave me permission to use this song. So wherever you may be, we're going to begin our journey moving from the grosser external levels of our energy, moving it internally. We're going to start by just becoming present here. Whether you're lying down or sitting, feel that you're sitting on the earth. Feel the way that the earth supports you. And you can gently breathe. And as you breathe, you don't have to try any particular pattern of breathing, but just imagine that you're breathing with the earth. The earth is breathing with you together. Allow your body to become heavier and heavier. You just kind of sink down and feel the support of the earth underneath you. No matter where we go, what we do in life, the earth is always there. It's always there to support us. It's always there to hold us. So feel that earth. And if you want to just send a moment of gratitude to the earth for always holding you and supporting you, you can do that too. Letting everything go down, down into the earth. We're going to do a very gentle body scan and send love to this body that we often neglect. We're going to come back to this body with our presence, and with our attention, and with our love. So you can begin by just imagining like a golden light of some kind at the top of your head. Remember what I said, that the visual cortex in your brain, it doesn't distinguish between whether something is real or imagined. So when you imagine this, your body will respond as if it's really happening. So imagine that this golden light is just coming down through all your hair follicles into your head and softening any areas of tension in your face and your head. If you're not a visualizer, that's perfectly fine. You can just feel a sensation. The way that you do it is the way that is right for you. I'm just offering a little guide. So just feel your face softening. Allow your forehead to relax and your eyes to rest in their sockets. Feel all the muscles in your face just relaxing. No need to have any mask to show the world. Just allow your face to be just effortless, natural. Feel that light that's coming down, moving into your jaw, your ears, into your throat, filling your whole throat with this golden light. This golden light like a sun. We tend to hold a lot of pressure, a lot of tension in our throat sometimes. From words maybe we haven't said that we want to say. So just allow that light to just fill all of the cells, the trillions of cells in your throat. Just send some acknowledgement to your throat, thanking it. And imagine that this light is just moving down into your chest, feeling it, the rays of the light expanding out through your lungs and your heart, down through your arms, into your hands and out your fingers. And everywhere this light goes, it just softens everything, just brings a quality of ease and softness. We are really space. It doesn't appear that way, but quantum mechanics tells us that. So fill the space of you with this light. I'm going to fill your lungs with this beautiful light and protection, fortifying your lungs, giving them love and attention and care. These lungs that help you to breathe, and they do it effortlessly without your input. It's the miracle of this body. Imagine this light now flowing down into your center of your body where all of your really important vital organs are. We have all of these incredible organs in our body that we very rarely, if ever, take the time to acknowledge, but they do so much without our asking them. So imagine that that light, that golden light from the top of your head is just moving down into your stomach. Just thank your stomach, sending that light throughout your whole belly, into your liver, gallbladder, spleen, pancreas, your intestines, kidneys, entire belly. Just imagining that this light is just saturating all of the internal organs. You can just send some gratitude to your body, to your organs, and just say thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry that I haven't noticed you for a really long time. You do so much for me. Thank you so much. Imagine that light is now pouring down into your pelvis, saturating all of your reproductive organs. Even if any of your organs have been physically removed, the energetic imprint of those organs is still there. So you can send that light to the physical organ or to the energetic imprint of that organ. Filling your pelvis with this light, opening up space, And imagining that light just pouring down now through your legs, down into your feet, and out through your toes. Our bodies are made up of not just these physical organs and tissues, but we have many, many rivers or nadis, or meridians of energy moving through our body. So you can imagine these currents and these rivers of energy just flowing with this golden light throughout your whole body. Remember, when you visualize this, your body responds like it's really happening. And if there's a place in your body that hurts, it's causing you pain or discomfort, see if you can just put your hand on it or just send your attention there. Sometimes when we have pain in our body, we tend to want to reject it, push that away. But really, we need to bring our love to that part that hurts, bring our care to that part that is in pain. So imagine that every single cell in your body now is just illuminated with this golden light. Like the golden light of a sunset, just filling every cell, all the space of your body, and beyond your body, surrounding your body. You can imagine this light. Just take a moment to feel this deep gratitude for everything that your body does for you. Even if there are places that hurt, in so many other ways, your body is doing so much to serve you, to help you, breathing and digesting food, falling asleep and waking up. All of these different things are such blessings that we just take for granted. So you can just send that gratitude to our body and let it know that we're creating this time and space for our body to rest. Nothing to do, nothing to hold up, just rejuvenating rest. So now we're going to enter the dream space together. So when we begin to slow down and to connect with our body and begin to slowly rest, it takes time because usually our energy is going out, it's dispersed in so many directions. So we need to take time to return, to come back, to go slow. First, our mind may resist it. We may feel agitated. We may feel annoyed. We may want to end it. We may want to get up and do something. But if we just stay with it, the waves of the mind will begin to settle. And there'll be a deep peace that comes from that. So through rest, we become receptive to receiving the grace that's always waiting to give itself to us. The love, we run away from it or we push it away. Maybe we don't feel worthy of it, or we don't actually feel connected to our being enough to slow down and receive it. So when we rest, we can become more open to receiving what we're longing for. So I'm going to sing to you now. I'm going to sing to you some mantras of the divine feminine, of the goddess, which is really significant at this time because there's a very auspicious festival happening in India, a Hindu festival called Navaratri, which is the 9 nights of the goddess. So at this time, you can really call on those feminine qualities. They're very present. And these are the energies that can help to draw to us creativity and abundance and strength. So as I sing to you, I invite you to just go deep into your heart and feel what it is that you're longing for, what it is that you wish to receive. You can just plant that desire like a seed into the sound. And there's nothing at all that you have to do to make anything happen, to manufacture any kind of experience. Just allow yourself to rest and to just be open to whatever it is that you need right now. Om Shri Shri Lakshmi Om Shri Shri Om Shri Shri Lakshmi Om Shri Shri Om Shri Shri Lakshmi Om Shri Shri Om Shri Shri Lakshmi Om Shri for your grace on me. Lakshmi, for your grace on me. Lakshmi, Lakshmi, for your grace on me. Shri Shri Lakshmi, Shri 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 Lakshmi, Shri Shri Narayani, 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 Devi, Shakti, Devi, Shakti, Shri Shri, Shri Shri, Shri Shri, Shri Shri. Just imagine that all the parts of yourself that have wandered away are coming back to you. All the parts that you've left behind are just coming back and filling you up with your own wholeness. And just feel a connection to your heart, the longing in your heart. And invite that longing to be met by some kind of loving presence. It could be the earth, it could be an ancestor, it could be the presence of a deity or a teacher that means something to you. Or it could simply be your own heart. And allow the mantras to just fill your body, fill your mind and your heart. These pure vibrations of peace. Om Durga Om Lakshmi Saraswati Om Shakti Om Durga Om Lakshmi Saraswati Om Shakti Om Durga Om Lakshmi Saraswati Om Shakti Shri Shri Om Shri Shri Om Shri Shri Om Shri Shri Om Lakshmi Om Devi Om Shakti Om Shri Shri Om Lakshmi Om Devi Om Shakti Narayani. Hari Om. Whatever in your life may need healing, may need love and care, give yourself the permission to receive that, in whatever form that it may come. My teacher always says that we need the permission of our own mind. So give yourself the permission of your own mind to receive love, to receive healing that you need. For your grace, oh, Lakshmi. For your grace, oh, Lakshmi. Oh, Lakshmi. Shim Shim. You are worthy of rest. You're worthy of all the things that you long for. You're worthy of your own care, and nurturing, and nourishment. These things are all our birthright. So allow life to love you. And just ask yourself that question, how is life loving me right now? In this moment, how is life loving me? Maybe it's the earth under you. Maybe it's your body that's breathing, or the blood that's circulating in underneath your skin. Maybe it's this community of people who we've all gathered together to rest. The great Chinese sage Lao Tzu said, "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished." Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. When we slow down and rest, we can trust life more, trust ourselves. I'm going to read you one of my favorite poems by Wendell Berry. It's called The Peace of Wild Things. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things. Do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. Whether you're lying down or sitting up, you can just slowly begin to bring your awareness back out of the dream time into waking time. Slowly deepening your breathing and feeling your feet, feeling your hands, just moving them a little bit and coming back into consciousness. And if you want to keep resting, you certainly can do that too. I'm going to end by singing a little prayer, a little blessing from the Kundalini Yoga tradition for you and for all of us, which some of you may know, and you can sing along if you'd like. You can stay lying down, stay with your eyes closed, or you can sit up. This is a blessing for all of us, that we may learn to rest, to connect to ourselves, and to trust ourselves more, to trust life. Maybe a long time, sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on, guide your way on. In a long time, sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your day on, guide your day on. Satanam, Satanam, oh Satanam, Satanam, oh Satanam, Satanam, oh Satanam, Satanam. Satnam means truth is my identity. Truth is my identity. When we're not rushing and busy, we can really connect to the reality of that. Truth is our identity. Oh, Satanam, Satanam. Oh, Satanam, Satanam. Oh, Satanam, Satanam. Oh, Satanam. Nam Satanam. Been a long time, sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you, guide your guide guide Let's just offer a prayer that this good energy that we cultivated together in this session, that it may go out in all directions and benefit the whole world, the whole creation. In the Buddhist tradition, this is known as dedicating the merit. We ask that this rest, these pure vibrations of the mantras, that they may be like seeds planted in our being, and that they may sprout and blossom at just the right time when we need them. Let us learn to take care of ourselves and to nurture ourselves, to slow down, make time for rest, so that we can be better stewards of this world, better citizens of our planet. So with that, we just sing Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti is peace. We send that peace to ourselves and to the world. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shri Guru Namaha Hari Om. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you so much. I so appreciate you staying. I went a little beyond the hour. Usually if I do the session live, it would take about 2 hours because we can't really rush the deep rest. But thank you so, so much for being with me today, and wasn't really sure how this program would translate in this form. It's very different to do things online in this way than it is in person. But thank you all for showing up and taking this journey with me. I really want to encourage you to make rest a part of your life. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. It can even just be a few minutes a day. You just lie down, you could put something over your eyes. Sometimes that helps me personally to just close out the world. Just connect to yourself, unplug that umbilical cord to all of the noise. It's like we need to hear ourselves, and we can't always hear ourselves if our energy is constantly going out towards all of these things. So we deserve that, and we need to give that to ourselves so that we can really show up for this world and take care of ourselves and take care of each other. So really, I invite you to rest. And there's so many beautiful uh, tools on Insight Timer. You can listen to a track of music. Just give yourself that time. If it's 5 minutes or 20 minutes, and just say, "I'm just going to lie here and listen to this." Don't even do anything. You don't have to effort. You don't have to chant or meditate, or just be. Or go out and lie on the earth. Just sit and look at the birds. Just take time, for yourself to nourish your being. It's really, really important. For myself, anyway, I find it to be so important. And in this session, I just wanted to give you a little taste of some different things, some different practices to scan your body, to thank your organs, to send light through your body, to receive sound. Sound is nourishment. Sound is like a sonic vitamin. So you can open yourself to receive sound that feels good to you. And nature sounds, you notice I use the crickets. Um, I think can be really healing as well. So I have lots of music on the app, different kinds of chants, and I even have some sleep stories which you can use to take a nap. One of them is the life of Buddha, which is actually a really beautiful story that you might want to listen to, the story of the Buddha's life with a beautiful soundtrack. And I have a chapter from The Wind in the Willows, which many people have asked me to record more of those chapters, which when I finish my next course. It's such a sweet little story. Actually, those crickets come from my Wind in the Willows story. So we can hear the sleep stories, and I also have a course called Awaken the Heart through chanting and mantras, which goes deeper into the path and practice of bhakti yoga, which is the yoga of love, from which this chanting practice emerges from. And my next session will be on November 1st, right before the US election. Really potent time, when a really good time for us to all gather together collectively and join our voices and our hearts to visualize the world that we want to live in. Send that like a wave into the world. The more of us that gather together with a shared intention, the more powerful it is. And so we're going to sing a mantra, a beautiful ancient mantra for peace, the peace and well-being of all people and all beings. We're going to sing that with a visualization for the earth. So please join me for that if you like. And again, I just can't thank you enough. Thank you for all of your donations. And I feel like I missed out on this whole conversation that was happening while I was doing this session. And I knew that if I kind of focused on that, I would get distracted from what I was doing. So I hope you understand. And oh, it's so good to just see you all for a minute. Thank you for being here with me. It just really just means the world. I will do more of The Wind in the Willows. It's a really joyful, childlike story. So anyway, I hope wherever you are, you have a beautiful day, a beautiful afternoon, and continue that inner nourishment. Take care of yourself. Really love yourself. I know it's easier said than done. In fact, my next course is about that. And it's taken me a really long time to create that course because I'm having to take the course for myself as I write it. And, learning how to love and care for ourselves is not necessarily an easy thing. We have to learn how to do it. We have to unlearn what we've been taught, how not to do it, and relearn how to do it, how to really care for ourselves. And I think that's very noble work and work that our world needs. So anyway, I'm sending so much love to all of you. Oh, thank you so much for being here. And The Peace of Wild Things by Wendell Berry, yes. And the first track for the relaxation was One Tribe. That song was called Return to Source, the didgeridoo with the drum. It's a really great track for connecting to the earth, I think. And the crickets they have no copyright. They belong to the earth. um, anyway, it's sad to say goodbye. I'm so grateful to you all. Thank you, thank you. I hope to see you again sometime soon. So I gotta somehow get out of my little cave here to turn off the live. Trisha Hersey, the NAP Ministry. Really great, great work. Thank you.
want to encourage you to keep meditating, keep practicing. To check out one of my courses,